Now, this young lady, she is absolutely amazing, Priyanka Rowe, and she's going to be speaking to us about how to transform your mindset in 6 weeks. That's right, in as little as 6 weeks. Remember, if you transform your mindset, your whole reality changes, how you see life changes. So there are many, many good benefits out of changing your mindset to a more positive one. Now, Priyanka Rowe is a mind coach. She has led a nomadic, multicultural childhood, having lived and studied in 10 cities and 7 countries, wow, including London. She also has a decade of corporate sales experience in Marriott International and the Ritz as well, where her clientele includes people like vertical heads across the banking and consultancy, aerospace, pharmaceutical, diplomatic circles, and all sorts of wonderful things. Wow, she's got a vast amount of knowledge, I can see, and experience. She's an alumni of Warwick Business School, UK, with a master's degree in marketing and strategy. Her professional credentials include being a mind coach, a licensed practitioner of LLP from the Society of Neuro-Linguistic Programming. And her tutor, her trainer was Dr. Richard Bandler, which is great. And of course, she's also a certified image consultant from the London Image Institute and a certified practitioner of EFT and belief clearing. Wow, what a long list of wonderful skills and talents this young lady has. Now, there is another pandemic, the one running in the minds of people. In this masterclass, she will teach you what you need to attract and how your thinking attracts the right things. Well, let her discuss a little bit more about this rather than me. A big global namaste to you, dear Priyanka. Are you there?
Thank you, Dr. Hani. Global namaste to you as well.
Oh, thank you. Wow, you've done such an amazing amount of work. Before I ask you any questions, because I have plenty of questions for you, which I'm going to be asking you right at the end. I know you have a presentation lined up for us. What do you have for us today?
So it's going to be an exciting 40 minutes where I'm going to lead the audience into their minds. I'm going to show them why the mind works the way it does, how it works, and more importantly, how you can make it work for you and not against you. So this is not a theoretical masterclass. I'm going to be sharing quite a few takeaways as I go along the way. So I really hope it adds value to the audience and is able to shift their mindset.
I'm sure it will, because I'm really looking forward to this. So are you going to go through some exercises as well so the audience members can join in?
Not practically, but I'm going to show them what kind of exercise they can do on their own and what kind of reprogramming techniques that they can apply. All these techniques can be self-coached, self-applied without required coach intervention. So my duty is to make them self-sufficient so they're not dependent on anybody or anything to transform them.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I'm going to let you have the screen. There you go. You're all on air. Please go ahead with your wonderful presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Hani. Thank you very much for your kindness.
You attract what you believe and not what you attract what you believe and not what you think. Starting today, you will start creating your tomorrow. My name is Priyanka Rowe. I am a professional mind coach and now a purpose friend.
A global namaste to the entire online community of Healing Our Earth and all the audiences who have tuned in from United Kingdom, United States, India, and Africa and Middle East as well. A very, very warm welcome to you. I'm so honored and privileged to be invited by the team of Healing Our Earth to be here speaking on this free global online session on wellness and healthy lifestyle for families. My name is Priyanka Rowe. I'm the apple of my parents' eye, roommate to a 50-kilo Rottweiler dog who shares my room, not my bed. I'm looking for my space under the sun, but I found my life's purpose. I'm a nerdy bookworm turned luxury hotelier, turned internationally certified image consultant, turned e-commerce startup founder, and now a professional mind coach. A lot of what I share with you today really comes from a place of experience and not theory. You know, I saw this quote on a Deepak Chopra program, and it was so me: teach what you most need to learn. I've been studying the mind for 15 years now, since I was almost 21 years. And I started off to basically, for my own personal growth, and for me to be able to dismantle certain destructive belief systems that I had in me. And I will share what I mean by that as we move along. So a lot of what I share with you comes from a place of experience, and I really hope it adds as much value to you as it did for me. So my job as a coach is to help you live without dependency, emotionally or mentally. You should be able to build coping mechanisms, get self-sufficient, and be able to manage any challenge or crisis in your life on your own without dependency. And my promise is to transform your mindset in 5 days. This is not because I'm a brilliant coach. This is because your subconscious mind is that powerful, ladies and gentlemen. And for some of you, you will start experiencing that as well. My credentials are on the screen. Only in this pandemics for the past 1 year, I've worked across 17 cities in India, 3 countries around the world, including the United Kingdom and the United States of America. And I've clocked in over 500 coaching hours. I'm extremely privy into the mindset of people right now. And I really hope that I'm able to share an insight with you on that as well. I've had the privilege of holding masterclasses for organizations such as Capgemini, Lenskart, Bank of America, the Indian Medical Association, and so on and so forth. I've appeared on television. I've been the keynote speaker at the Indian Medical Association Women's Conference as well. And what you see on the screen, ladies and gentlemen, is a very strong insight on what I mean by the other pandemic. These are all the clients who have met me only in this past 1 year. The number one challenge posed to me has been low self-worth. The second one has been stress or being stuck in a professional career because of the pandemic. The third has been anxiety or stress because of the virus, and then personal relationships. So it's really interesting. We're currently under a medical pandemic, but it is triggering other emotional challenges in people because your belief systems are being triggered by the challenge that's around you in this world. And you'll get a better understanding of that as I move along. The key here is the last line that you read. Results experienced in an average of 3 to 5 weeks. This is because your subconscious mind can reprogram and release in 3 to 5 weeks. In some cases, even finish reprogramming and releasing. The magic and the might, ladies and gentlemen, lies in you. Please start harnessing it. So let's begin right away. On a global level, the only thing common between public speaking and snakes is that both are rated the topmost fears in the world. In fact, public speaking affects almost 75% of the population on Earth. Falling sick, medical bills, death, these are the top 3 topmost fears apart from snakes in public speaking. No wonder this current pandemic has created such a mental health pandemic. It has triggered the top fears in people. The others are, of course, war, natural disasters, crime, pollution, falling short of money. But on an individual micro level, these are the topmost fears that most of us have. The fear of change. Our comfort zone traps us so hard that we are not able to come out of it. Fear of loneliness, so social media, addictions are all a result of being lonely, isolated, and leading lockdown lives. The fear of failing, self-doubt, being judged. What will society think? What will the world think? What will others think? Fear of loss in your family. Something bad is going to happen. This doom story constantly running in your minds. Feeling extremely unworthy. The fear of the unknown and the fear of uncertainty. These are the topmost fears on a micro level that currently a lot of people around the world are experiencing. But here's the good news. None of us were born with any of these fears. you ever met a child who has fears, who has negative emotions? No child has negative emotions or a fear because your subconscious mind is born fearless. It's born complete. It's born enough. It's born whole. If you ask a child what do they want to be when they grow older, answers like, I want to be an astronaut, I want to be the prime minister of a country, I want to be a cricketer, I want to be Elon Musk, I want to be a movie star. These answers are extremely probable and possible because as a child, you believe you can be, do, and have whatever you want. But what happens to us as we grow older? All these belief systems start getting dismantled. So the good news is, if your subconscious mind was born free, complete, and enough, it can be reprogrammed to go back to its original state. So some of my clients have removed the depression in 45 days, fear of death in 45 days, sexual trauma, rape memories, abuse in 4 to 5 weeks, overthinking, procrastination, low self-worth, fear of public speaking 3 weeks, fear of driving 1 week, because your subconscious mind reprograms and releases and goes back to its original state. So if we were never born with these fears or negative destructive beliefs, where did we acquire them? Ladies and gentlemen, we acquire belief systems between the age of 7 and 14 in majority cases. It usually comes from our parents and our family because they are our biggest role models. Whatever they tell us, we pick up unquestioned, unfiltered. We believe it to be true. If it's positive, it creates empowering beliefs in us. If it's destructive, it does not. So many of us, grow up hearing statements like, money doesn't grow on trees, life is hard, life is a struggle, don't take risks, we are, a family of limited means, we're middle class families, nothing comes easy in this world, there's always a competition, there's always a rat race, if you're not rich, you're not successful. And these become our belief systems as we grow older. So our family and our school environment, huge influences. So I'll give you certain examples in this pandemic. I had a client of mine who came to me with the fear of death. She's a banker. Where did she acquire this fear? When she was really young, she was very, very close to her godmother, and her godmother was murdered. And that fear of death struck her when she was really, really young and has stayed in her till the 30s, and that's got triggered in this pandemic. I have another client of mine who's 49 years old who works for an investment firm, and he heard his grandmother tell somebody else when he was 8 years old that his mother is an orphan. That statement hit him so hard. What if I become an orphan? And unfortunately, at 12, he lost his dad, and that fear of losing his loved ones stuck to him till 49 when he met me. So the root can come from anywhere, and the tributaries then can come up in other structures of your life. But like I said, you were never born with it. You never have to live with it. So in this masterclass, you're going to learn that you attract what you fear, not what you think. You're going to learn how you can reprogram your subconscious mind. And for some of you will start reprogramming today, because I am going to share with you a few takeaways. So I hope you have your pens and papers ready, because I'm going to begin right away. You're going to understand what the Roman Emperor Marcus meant when he said his thoughts make of it. You'll understand what William James, the famous American father of American psychology, said. The greatest discovery of our generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitude. And the famous poet and philosopher Ralph Emerson, who mentioned, you become what you think about all day. But I'll also show you today that you also become what you believe about all day. So let's dive straight into it. When we talk of an image of a person, ladies and gentlemen, there are always two elements to it. One is the image within, what's happening on the inside. And the other is the image without, what's happening on the outside. Your external image is what the world can see of you. It's what you're projecting. It's your appearance, your behavior, your communication, your staff image, your online image, your office image. But here's the first truth of the day. Your external environment is a reflection of your inner environment. What is happening on the outside is reflecting the internal. Let me give you a practical example here. For some of you who have anxiety and stress due to, say, the pandemic, what happens to your body when you face anxiety? palpitations, your heart starts beating, you start sweating, your legs start shaking, some of your bodies go really warm, some face chills. The anxiety and the fear is internal, but your body is reacting to it. For all of you who have a fear of public speaking, what happens to you when you see a mic a daze or an audience? You stammer, you stutter, your mind goes blank, your throat goes dry, your palms sweat, you might forget certain words. Your body is reacting to the internal. So your external environment is a reflection of your inner environment. So what do I mean by the inner environment? I have limitations. I am my biggest limitation. I feel inferior. I'm lost and confused. I lack confidence. I need to change my life. I have this phobia. I have that fear. Can I do it? I don't love myself. I feel like a failure. I'm bored. I want to live my life to the fullest, but I'm not able to. I have low self-belief or I have low self-esteem. Now, your self-belief and your self-esteem are the two most important pillars to build a successful mindset. Ladies and gentlemen, your self-belief is how much you have confidence in yourself, but your self-esteem is how much you love or like yourself. And they're both mutually exclusive. You can have a high self-belief or a low self-esteem. I think I'm a brilliant coach, but I don't love myself. Or I love myself. Main apni favorite hu. I am my favorite person in the world, but I think I'm an average coach. So to build a successful mindset, you need to grow your self-belief and grow your self-esteem in equal measure. So keeping the internal image in mind. For some of you, you might have said, yes, that's me, or I can relate to that. I can resonate with that. You know, that's what that's exactly what I experience. And yes, I want help. Where do I begin? We begin today and right now. And let me show you how you actually can reprogram and release some of these destructive belief systems, right? So the whole universe is a gigantic field of energy. And the science that studies it is quantum physics. Your energy, I'm energy, oxygen, food, money, emotions, feelings, fears, everything is energy. And because everything is energy, energy operates on laws. Absolute, complete, non-negotiable, universal laws that don't change for anybody. If I drop this pen, it has to fall down. The law of gravity is not going to turn around and tell me, Priyanka, it's Sunday, I'm on holiday, it's a weekend, I'm not working. It's not going to work. But because it's energy, the biggest law in the world is the law of attraction, which works on the premise that's on your screen: like attracts like. One energy attracts similar energy. So if you start your day on a positive energy, you've had a great morning, a great yoga, a great meditation, you've had a great breakfast, you know, your boss has sent you an email praising you, you're feeling really good, the rest of the day goes really well. Or the other way around, you're woken up feeling miserable, you've had a fight, you know, with somebody at home, you've got a stinker of an email from a client, you're feeling miserable, and like a dominoes effect, the rest of the day goes negative. So the energy is always attracting similar energy. How does that work on a practical level in our lives? This is what I'm going to explain to you. I know this is a complex subject, but I'm going to make this as simple and as relevant to you as possible. So here is an individual who has certain thoughts. Let's say the thoughts are, I deserve a promotion in my company. I've worked really hard and I'm up for it. I'm ready for it. I need that promotion. Thoughts are energy. So these thoughts will attract more similar thoughts. Like attracts like. So how do I get a promotion? How do I skill up? Should I start acting the role already? Should I have a conversation with my reporting boss? You know, should I tell him that I'm ready for it? Or should I tell her that, you know, I need the training to get ready for it? All these thoughts are increasing. Eventually, all this energy converts into matter and you attract a promotion. This is basic law of attraction, which says if you ask for something, you believe it, you receive it. I'm sure most of you are aware of this subject. You've read The Secret, you've read other books on the law of attraction, you understand this. Now, this applies universally for everything. This could be a promotion, a job, a car, love, marriage, a business, anything. But we don't get what we want always. So what's the missing link? What's the missing gap? Here's the second truth of the day I'm going to share with you. These yellow thought clouds that you see here are your conscious mind. Your conscious mind is your logical, rational, thinking mind that's right now listening to me, assimilating what I'm telling you. But did you know that your conscious mind is just 10% of your mind? So for all of you out there who say you overthink, you are worry warriors, your mind keeps racing, you have no control over your thoughts, essentially you're just a slave to 10% of your mind. Beyond these thoughts is something known as your sponsoring thought. Your sponsoring thought is the thought behind the thought. It's your belief systems from childhood. It's your values. It's all your memories and experiences. It's your subconscious mind. And this is a whopping 90% of your mind. And it is this sponsoring thought, these belief systems, this subconscious mind that is influencing what you're attracting in your life, which means you don't attract what you think, you attract what you believe. You don't attract what you think, you attract what you fear. So let's say this individual is thinking about a promotion, but the sponsoring thought is, I don't have leadership material. Do I have leadership qualities? Will my peers accept me as their boss? Will I be able to succeed? What if there's too much of stress in the role? What if my work-life balance gets affected? These are all your thoughts, and that blocks you from taking action for a promotion or blocks you from attracting it. So your sponsoring thought can be anything. If you're a CXO or a vertical head who believes that you're burnt out and you need to reinvent or create a change in your life, your sponsoring thought could be, I've done this all my life. What if I fail? What will society think? This is my comfort zone. I fear the unknown. I'm not able to shift and reinvent myself, and that blocks you. If you are a homemaker who would like to start a business, your sponsoring thought could be, but will my kids not have me around? I feel guilty. I need to also look after my home. I've never had a business. What if I lose money? I don't know what it's like to be an entrepreneur. And that blocks you from taking action. So your sponsoring thought is influencing your everyday decisions, thoughts, feelings, actions, your approach to life, even your approach to yourself. It's positive, it leads to positive actions. If it's negative, it creates blocks. So in this COVID pandemic times, these are the top 4 COVID mindsets in the sponsoring thought that I have discovered based on all the clients that I've worked in the past 1 year. Number 1 is anxiety and stress. I'm burnt out with stress. There are no customers. Economies are not doing well. When will the economy bounce back? I have EMIs and loans. My salary has been cut. I'm working from home and there's no work-life balance. I get panic attacks. Number 1. Number 2, feeling stuck and lost. I feel unfulfilled. I feel the whole pandemic has, made me lose my dreams and goals. I have no direction in life. I'm bored. I'm feeling monotonous. I need a change. I'm feeling unfulfilled, stuck and lost. The third one is overthinking. What if scenarios that keep running in your mind, the fear of tomorrow, the fear of the unknown. When will life come back to normal? Will this corona ever go away? Will I ever be happy? Will I ever go back to work? Overthinking. And the number 1, of course, is fear of death, fear of falling sick. Even a cold or a cough gets you panicked, fear of losing your loved ones, fear of dying alone, fear of stepping out of your home. These are the top 4 COVID mindsets that are right now in your sponsoring thought, and that is blocking you from doing what you want to do, or it is attracting more of it. So how can you actually reprogram it? The mindset. Let me show you how. So I'm just going to stop share right now and go into a whiteboard and explain to you how the mind works. So we're just taking a trip right now into your mindset. So here's your conscious mind, here's your subconscious mind, and here's your life. So let me explain to you how the mind works so you can actually make it work for you. We've already established that your conscious mind is 10% of your mind. Your subconscious is a whopping 90% of your mind. And here is sitting all your events and experiences in your life. So how does this actually work? Let's understand how your mind works. Consider your conscious mind as the boss. This is the mind right now listening to me. The conscious mind, the boss, gives instructions to the team and the team delivers those instructions to the T, to the letter. Your conscious mind is the boss. This is giving commands and instructions to subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is your creative medium. It creates through the law of attraction. And here's your third truth of the day. Your conscious mind learns through repetition. It learns through repetition. You keep telling it something frequently, every day, and it learns it. And it creates it in your life exactly what you told it. So example and point, I have panic attacks. I am depressed. I'm unhappy. I'm stuck. I procrastinate. I am lazy. I have this fear. I'm always scared. You have told yourself these statements so very often that you have become it because your subconscious mind has learned through repetition, believed it, and made you that. But here's the good news. This means that you can actually change your commands at any point in time and your life will start changing. This is not dependent on the planetary positions, on luck, on your horoscope, on on what you have been educated with. The magic and the might lies in you. You can change these instructions and you can change your life. So how do you change these instructions is what I will teach you right now. So some of you can start designing your mental commands to actually help you reprogram. So here's an indication of what is your conscious mind and what is your subconscious mind. So the red is your conscious mind and the purple is subconscious mind. Your conscious mind is active and dominant when you're awake, like right now. But when's your subconscious mind active and awake? In your sleeping state. Did you know the first 10 minutes of your wake up, your subconscious mind is still active? This is why we sometimes remember our dreams and details that we dreamt of, but a few hours later, we can't remember them because your subconscious mind is active in the first 10 minutes. Your subconscious mind is also active in the last 10 minutes just before you go to bed, when you're half groggy and half sleepy. It's active in meditation, in pranayam, in breath work, in yoga, in prayer, in moments of great happiness, even in physical inertia. I'm just sitting out here, drinking a cup of coffee, wishful thinking, daydreaming. My subconscious mind is active. Now, why is this important? When your subconscious mind is active, as soon as you wake up, just before you go to bed, meditation, prayer, yoga, fitness, pranayam, happiness, you will use that fertile time to reprogram your subconscious mind with the mental commands I'm going to give you, because it is the most receptive at that point in time. Secondly, if you look at the third note that I've put up here, is the most important. While your conscious mind, ladies and gentlemen, is very rational, it can analyze, it can compare, it can reason, it can choose, it can study, it can assess, it will tell you this is right, that's wrong, this is good, this is bad. Ironically, the subconscious mind, even though it's 90% of your mind, it's the most powerful seat at the table, it cannot study, it cannot analyze, it cannot assess, it cannot compare, it cannot argue, it cannot differentiate. It will do exactly what the boss tells it. So when you're designing your mental commands to reprogram, give your subconscious mind exactly what you want to pick up. You cannot say, I don't want to be scared or speaking in public. The subconscious mind does not understand don't want to be. It picks up scared public speaking, learns through repetition, believes it, makes you fearful. Instead of saying, I don't want to be scared, you need to say, I am fearless, I am fearless, I am fearless. It learns that through repetition, believes it, makes you fearless. Instead of saying, I need to stop feeling so anxious, I need to stop feeling so anxious. It doesn't understand need to stop. It picks up anxiety, makes you anxious. So you need to rephrase that to, I am calm, or I am peaceful, or I am strong, or I am confident, whatever it is that resonates with you. And you repeat that over days. And over time, your subconscious mind picks that up and starts making you calm, peaceful, strong, confident. So essentially what we're doing here is the beta state is your brain waves when you are in a wake state of mind, ladies and gentlemen. And alpha is when you're in light sleep or light meditation. And theta is deep sleep and deep meditation. So what we are doing here is we are using the mental commands and reprogramming our subconscious mind when it hits alpha state, even in our awake state. Like when you wake up, when you're meditating, when you're in fitness, when you're in yoga. So we're accessing your alpha state, even in your waking state. That's exactly the times that are given to you to help you start reprogramming. So given this, grab your pens and papers. Here are 5 techniques I'm going to share with you to help you start reprogramming. The first one is the power of I am. I cannot emphasize enough how powerful these 2 words are, ladies and gentlemen. Anything and everything after I am gets created by your subconscious mind, because nobody can say I am except you. Even if I say I am, it is internal driven. It is intrinsic. I can't say I am for you. So the mind believes everything after I am to be absolute and true. In Sanskrit, which is the ancient Indian language, there is a saying called Aham Brahmasmi. I am that. I am everything. So the mind believes everything after I am to be you. So think of all the I ams you've used now. I'm lazy. I'm allergic to exercise. I am a procrastinator. I am unhappy. I'm lost. I am underconfident. I am I am feeling inferior. And that has become you. But let's change that now. The first command I want to give you, especially in this pandemic times, is I'm fearless. Now, mind you, this is not an affirmation. This is a mental command. What's a mental command? A mental command is, number 1, meant to reprogram. And secondly, a mental command is one that your mind cannot object to, because you were born fearless. This is your authentic subconscious state. This was what you were when you were a child. The mind says, I remember this was me. Oh, I want to be that again. And it starts reprogramming. Affirmations don't always work, ladies and gentlemen. I am confident. I am brilliant. I'm abundant. I'm healthy. I'm magnificent. Because your mind can object to it. What do you mean you're confident? Of course you're not. What do you mean you're powerful? What do you mean you're abundant? It doesn't make sense to me. You're always unhappy. It can object to it. But I'm fearless, it cannot, because you were born it. How are you going to use this mental command? Again, when your subconscious mind is active. As soon as you wake up, you're brushing your teeth, I'm fearless. You're having a shower, I'm fearless. You're driving to work, I'm fearless. In your yoga, in your meditation, I'm fearless. You're jogging or running, I'm fearless. Just before you go to bed, I'm fearless. You can even use heterosuggestions with this. What do I mean by that? When the command comes from outside, put post-it notes on your laptop, on your bathroom mirror, on your cupboard, on your car dashboard, on your study desk. Even when you're working, your mind is reading, I am fearless, I'm fearless. You can make a wallpaper for your phone. So every time you pick up your phone is reading, I am fearless. Your mind is reading, I am fearless. This is how you surround the subconscious mind with this command. You just need to do this for 3 or 4 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. Your mind reprograms that fast. By 3 or 4 weeks, you start feeling fearless, and your actions and decisions then stem from this sponsoring thought. Very, very powerful mental command. That's my first takeaway for you. The second one is something called as drop the coal. If I was to put a hot burning coal in your hand, what would you do? You would drop it, right? Do you have to tell your mind or your hand, please drop the burning coal? No, it does it by reflex, instinct. Similarly, if a negative, damaging, harmful thought comes into your mind, you should be able to drop the thought as well. Now, when you give your command to your mind, Priyanka, drop the coal, the mind goes blank and it drops every thought, because in the entire wiring of our mind, the mind goes on alert mode every time it hears coal. It thinks you're in danger. It thinks you have something that is going to harm you, a life-threatening situation. Remember, the mind's job is to protect you. It has to go into survival mechanism. So when you say drop the coal, the mind automatically goes blank, alert. It drops whatever thoughts you have, and you come in the now, you come in the present. So Drop the coal is a very powerful command to drop negative thoughts, to concentrate, to focus, and drop that fear for your mind. The command you'll use is, Priyanka, drop the coal. And you'll see your mind going blank. The third command I'm going to share with you is something that I learned from Marissa Peer, who's UK's #1 therapist, a world-renowned speaker. She actually did this experiment in a hospital where she had one ward where she put up this huge command on the wall which said, I have phenomenal coping skills. And then they had the second ward which did not have this command. And then they were tracking how quick do patients recover and get discharged. And to their utter amazement, they saw the ward that had this command, I have phenomenal coping skills, recovered faster, stronger, quicker, and were healthier and got discharged faster. Because every time the patients were reading, I have phenomenal coping skills, I have phenomenal coping skills, the subconscious mind started believing it through repetition. And they developed coping skills and they coped and they got healthier and they released. Brilliant command, for you to build your coping mechanisms in crisis times like these. So drop the coal. I have phenomenal coping skills and I am fearless. I'm very confident this will help you start shifting your sponsoring thought. But my final takeaway to you is even if we decide to pour in all these mental commands, there is a possibility that your subconscious mind might not shift. Why? If there is a cup full of water, and I ask you to pour more water into this cup, will you be able to? No, the water will spill over. There is no space in the cup. Consider this your vessel. This is your life. You're pouring in mental commands, self-help books, motivational speakers, YouTube videos, positive affirmations, but they're not creating a shift in you. Why? Because your vessel is already filled with limiting belief systems, fears, childhood memories, experiences, destructive emotions and fears. So you have to release it to create space when you're pouring in positive mental commands or positive affirmations. One of the most powerful techniques you can use to release is this one, which I'm going to share with you. This technique, called emotional freedom techniques, is the most powerful techniques that I've come across in my 15 years of study. My clients have removed depression, sexual trauma, abuse, rape, weight gain, feeling unworthy, low self-esteem, underconfidence, fears with this technique. In America, this is taught in schools as part of school curriculum. EFT is part of energy medicine. This is where ancient Indian Ayurveda, traditional Chinese medicine, and the South American shamanic traditions come from, which believes that we are all an energy body. So energy can be treated with energy. So Western medicine today is embracing energy medicine. Tons of medicals and journals and medical articles on it. And EFT that you see on the screen, emotional freedom techniques, is the technique to help you release any fear, limiting thoughts, beliefs, and anything that's stopping you. Please Google this technique. Please check it on YouTube. It can be self-coached. It can be self-learned. It can be self-applied. This is my last takeaway to you. This will completely change your life. It's today used for clinical health purposes. There are tons of articles on this. Essentially, we've got energy meridians or energy pathways in our body, which stores negative energy. So EFT is like acupressure, but without needles. It's using your fingers. So when you start tapping on certain acupressure points, it starts releasing the fears, the limitations, the negative thoughts permanently. The key word here is permanently. Emotional freedom techniques. Please Google it. Please YouTube it. Please learn this. This will help you release as well as pour whatever I taught you today. So having said that, I really hope you're able to change your mindset and to change your reality. Remember, you were never born a victim. You are a manifester. You are a co-creator. Claim your power back, the power of your thought, the power of your beliefs, and start creating the life you need. I love this quote of Vishen Lakhani, who says, your soul isn't here to achieve, it is to evolve. Please start evolving. take action right now. Get a coach, get a mentor. You can follow me on Mind Coach Priyanka Rowe on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. On an everyday basis, I share several mindset hacks to reprogram and release. If you really enjoyed what I said, there's always free accessible information on my social media handles. And if you think you'd like to fast track your growth right now, remember, you were not born with these challenges. You don't have to live with them. And if you wish to continue having this conversation with me, you can get in touch with me for 2 of my programs, Mind Coaching and Belief Clearing Quest. My last takeaway before I hand it over back to Dr. Honey is that this program is for you if you procrastinate, if you have fear of public speaking, if you have anxiety and panic attacks, if you're scared, if you lack confidence, if you overthink, if you're lazy, or you just want to learn the mindset of the most successful people. And the Belief Clearing Quest is for you if you're stuck, you're confused, you're unhappy, you have low self-esteem, you feel inferior, you lack confidence, and you're scared. I'm going to share with you how you can actually get in touch with me. Mind Coach Priyanka Rowe. My email address is on the screen. My website is on the screen. If you believe that I could be a right coach for you, please, I open myself up to receiving your emails or your messages online. And having said that, God bless you all. Stay safe. And thank you very much for your time and your patience. Over to you, Dr. Honey.
Wow, that was just absolutely amazing, Priyanka. In such a short time, you shared such amazing information. May I ask you to perhaps stop sharing the screen, if that's okay, dear Priyanka? Thank you. That was wonderful. How many years have you been studying this, Priyanka?
So I've been studying the mind since 21, so that's 15 years.
Wow, that's wonderful.
Yeah. 15 years. So one of the reasons I actually started studying that was because when I was young, I grew up in Europe for the most part of my younger years. And I used to face racism and bullying on an everyday basis in the American school that I was studying in Paris. And that acquired destructive belief systems in me, which when I grew older, started spilling over to other areas of my life. So a lot of what I shared with you today comes from a place of experience because I apply that on me to remove those belief systems.
Wow, that's brilliant. And I think that's the best way to teach others when you've been through something yourself, you've been through the practical experience, you've tried it yourself, you know it really does work, and then pass on that knowledge to other people. It's the most powerful. And you also talked about, some really interesting things you talked about, the conscious and the subconscious mind. And you talked about the reservoir of experiences and events that are all there within the subconscious. And
Yes.
The boss and the one that just follows the instructions. So the conscious mind is the boss, of course, and the subconscious mind just follows instructions. So how you talked also at the end about how to clear some of these negative experiences and events, etc. How important is it? So if people are watching out there, because you have families who are there with children, they're bringing up these wonderful kids, they must be going through lots of different challenges in life. How important is it for the parents to be aware of all this? Because the children are going through these challenges, and in a way, these experiences are being built up over the years. But by the time they're adults, they're not actually becoming the best versions of themselves. They're actually, limiting their potential.
Yes.
So what message would you like to perhaps give to the parents who may be watching out here of how to instill the good memories in these children?
That's a brilliant question, and you've kind of hit, the nail on the head. All the parents who are listening out there, whatever you tell your children, they are picking it up unquestioned, unfiltered, and believe it to be absolutely true. So build empowering belief systems. Think back of your own childhood. Perhaps your parents were not as supportive or as loving or did not push you to achieve your dreams or made you believe that you're not enough or not worthy of what you wanted to be. And that's why you did not do it. But the child does not believe that. And whatever you tell him or her, he will pick it up to be the ultimate truth. So tell them that they can be whatever they want to be. Show them their innate talents and their qualities. Tell them that you will back them up and support them no matter what. Give them a safety net and let them fly. They will amaze you, because every child is born with such an immense amount of potential. And your subconscious mind, like you said, is a collection of impressions, knowledge, wisdom since the beginning of time, in the beginning of human life. It doesn't just come from this present life, which is why when you surrender your subconscious mind, ideas, solutions can come to you, which even you did not know existed. So Picasso, Michelangelo, Graham Bell, Alexander, Einstein, where did they get their inventions from? The subconscious mind. In fact, some of them got in their sleep and they woke up and they quickly took notes. So your subconscious mind can take you to the next level. Allow them to fly. That's my message to the parents.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. Yes, allow the children to fly. And of course, they say that memories are very important. So whatever you're going through in life, to try to perhaps look at the more optimistic side of life. So the way you're interpreting life as well at the same time. Because as you mentioned, half full or half empty glass, perhaps some people look at. If you teach your children to look at the half full glass instead of the half empty glass, even that's very important, because they're actually shifting their perception of that situation in life as well, that they're going through. Absolutely. You also talked about, that was very interesting, the way you said that the whole glass, you can't fill anything more positive things in there because there's so many negative things there. And people are full of these, experiences of life and things they've seen or been taught, etc. So how about, again, in families, maybe, you're helping to help your children evolve and you're going through lots and lots of experiences. How do you help the children clear some of the baggage they may have? Because then you want to fill it up with nice positive energy. It's never too late to help your children become the best versions of themselves. So wherever you are at this moment in time, how do you help maybe difficult children, perhaps they've gone through some situations, to clear it, to help them become better individuals as well?
Yes, it's never too late to a child or even an adult to change. My oldest client is a 76-year-old lady who wanted to shift her mindset. So it's never really too late. The best technique that I can share for children is emotional freedom techniques. This is actually taught in schools as part of the school curriculum in America, because as a child, if you are taught to release fears, negative emotions, anything limiting you, kind of nip it in the bud before it grows inside like a monster inside of you, it doesn't grow as you grow older. So emotional freedom techniques, to all the parents out there, please Google it, please YouTube it. There are EFT practitioners as well around the world. If you can teach your child EFT, it will be their best friend for life. I've been self-tapping on for 10 years now, and I wish I had this when I was a child. I would probably have grown up with several different experiences. So that is my takeaway, or my give to the parents who want their children to remove negative memories, experiences, or emotions. Emotional freedom techniques.
That's amazing, because when you look at the Indian Eastern philosophy, where you talk about the nadis, the nadi system, and you talked about the meridians, which come from the Oriental, the Chinese, or so, the Asian background. So, we say there are all these lines, not just like the blood vessels. You have the energetic lines all around your body as well. So when you're actually doing the tapping, you're actually releasing these energies and allowing the energy. So if we can maybe see it as energy, like a wire, there's energy, and then something's like a water pipe, something is stuck. And if you open it up again, the water starts flowing again, maybe. So sometimes you've got these trapped energies, you need to get flushed out, of the system. So maybe if somebody's thinking about how does this whole thing work, maybe they could see it in that way and just visualize it. It's just a flushing out of your whole energy system. That's very, very powerful. What you've shared today is absolutely amazing here, Priyanka, really. And you also talked about, you have the I am. I think this I am is very powerful. It really is, because everyone, every time says, oh, I'm so silly. Oh, I'm so, I'm so forgetful. I'm like this, I'm like that. They always say these I ams. So why not say,
Yes.
oh, I'm a good person, I'm a kind person, I'm an intelligent person, I'm a fearless person. So why not use that I am? So that's a very powerful thing. How do your children, I mean, can they use this as affirmations, or families even? Like, sometimes you have a family affirmation that we are a great family, we're a happy family. How would you help people use this kind of techniques as a family?
So I have actually had clients who have kind of framed an I am fearless, or I am enough, or I'm worthy, or I'm deserving, or I matter. And they have actually placed these frames in their living rooms, or in their bedrooms, or in their kids' rooms. So every time you are there, you're reading it. So your subconscious mind is absorbing it even when you're doing your day-to-day chores. And because it's so powerful, it is assimilating it. So for families, this is the best way to actually do it. We are can get confused on the subconscious mind, but I am cannot. So even if you put it up as a family, each one is reading it as I am, and each subconscious mind is reading it for them. So
Okay,
my
got it.
suggestion is to stick to I ams and not we are, because the subconscious mind will pick that up faster and stronger.
Oh,
And
good.
that's a brilliant technique you can actually follow as a family.
Right. So you can put it all up everywhere. So whatever the family wants to, it's more fun that way, isn't it? When you work
Yes.
together as a family, saying, okay, this is who we are. This is what the vision we're working towards as a family, and makes it more fun. Children like it because it's more like a game, and it's, helping to move them in the right direction, because I'm very much about fun. I have a whole page, by the way, of I ams on my wall as well. I've had it for 15 years. So every time you go out of alignment, you always look at it. I'm like this. It's okay. When you become impatient with something, say, I'm patient. I'm a patient person. So you remind yourself. So it definitely helps a lot to have this I am there. This is great. So is there Priyanka, is there any final messages that you may feel that, that you would like to share with our audiences? Very soon, of course,